Problems. That's all my life consists of. I get to the office. There's a message from the site agent at Finchley. They've driven their 10-ton crane onto the children's play area. To their great surprise, their 10-ton crane is now in the drains underneath the children's play area. I get back to the office and there's this waiting. I can't build anywhere within 6 feet of that thing, so I'm going to lose about a fifth of the site.
Couldn't they divert it?
You're a bloody woman. Divert it? Yes, they could divert it. That's going to cost about £1,000 a metre.
Or couldn't you get them to cut back on parking space?
Hello, Sheila. Cut back on parking space. What good would that do? Come in, come in.
Sorry.
If you didn't have to provide 100% off-street parking, you'd have a bit more space and money to play with.
I thought David would be at the office.
I'm just on my way to the thorough architect to see about this.
The electricity people have got a 275,000-volt cable running across the Pursuito roadside.
So what? I'm going to have to go to 11 stories.
Oh dear, poor David.
You wouldn't believe what goes under that site. Wires, pipes, sewers. It may not be buildable, you see. Seriously, I may be building a piece of unbuildable land.
Back for lunch?
I may not be back at all.
Poor David.
Oh, this is element. If you don't like problems, don't take up architecture.
Must be awful for him now.
Anyway, if you don't like problems, don't take up living.
Poor David. Poor David.
Sheila, love, what's the matter?
Nothing.
Come on, you'll make me cry too. It's not the children.
No.
Colin?
No.
You haven't had a row?
No.
We can't both stand here crying if I don't even know what we're crying about.
It's not anything. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. I'm all right. I'm sorry, Jane. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Just the what, love?
It's just that...
I'll get her some coffee.
Jane, what should I do if he left me? How should I cope? I can't manage the children on my own. And what about the money? I can't help worrying about the money. What would I do? I can't go back to nursing. I have to collect Lizzie at 3 o'clock every afternoon. I just stand there in the kitchen after the children have gone off to school and my thoughts go round and round. What should I do? How should I manage? And I can't get anything done. I don't know where to start. And then I think he can't come home again and find everything like this. I haven't even made the beds. And then I think it's awful. I can't go running over the road again.
Sheila, take a deep
I know
breath.
you've got David's work to be worrying about. You've got your own work to be getting on with.
Come on, Colin. Still warm. Lots of sugar.
Oh, Jane, whatever should I do without you?
Sheila, don't start crying again. Just tell me. Has Colin said anything about leaving you? But there isn't anyone else, is there? Sheila, love, I think this is all inside your head. You're shut away in your room all day, so you start to imagine things.
I watch Colin. In the evening, sometimes he looks round at the home we've made. That brown sideboard and those brown chairs. Everything's brown, and I know what he's thinking.
Did he say what he's thinking?
No. No, he's very kind. He tries to be kind. But I know, and he's right. It is hopeless. I'm hopeless. I'm no good to him. He was lovely once. He was shining and dark and fearless and frightening. Didn't care if people hated him. Some people do hate him, you know. You don't hate him, do you, Jane? No. You're his only real friends. Oh, Jane, isn't that cruel? He could have done anything. I've held him back somehow. I don't know how. I've held him down.
He loves you, Sheila.
I should have gone off and had the baby on my own. I could have coped then. I wasn't always like this, Jane, because he's pulled me down too. Sometimes I think maybe I want him to go. Maybe that's why I keep thinking about it. Maybe that's why I'm so frightened of it.
Sheila, he loves you. I know he does.
Yes, well. Are you happy, Jane?
Oh, don't worry about me.
I think you're happy, aren't you?
Heavens, I don't know. I'm not sure I've ever stopped to consider it.
You must be.
Must I?
Somebody's got to be happy, otherwise it doesn't make sense. I just stand there in the kitchen sometimes and I hold on to the table and I think, well, Jane's happy at any rate.
You'll be happy again, I promise.
Are you happy, Jane?
I've been very lucky, I realise that.
You won't say it, will you?
Sheila, love, it's not something you can ask anyone to say.
Nobody will ever say it. Sometimes I think it's because they're afraid to admit it, and sometimes I think it's because nobody is.
You know what, Sheila? We must get you out of that house during the day. You're going a bit mad over there. We must find you a job. Now, come on. I'll drive you down to the shops, and you can get something amazing to give Colin for supper. Now, where are my keys? Well, what else could I have done? The last thing I wanted was to get involved in Sheila's troubles. I just didn't have any choice. I couldn't have covered my ears. I didn't have much choice in the job I found her, either. I only knew one employer in those days.
Work for me, Sheila.
2 or 3 hours a day, that's all.
Doing what?
Doing all the things I do for you. Phone, letters, filing.
So what would you be doing?
I could spend more time down at Pursuto Road.
Less and less you can do there now.
There's more and more. There's that woman who's being evicted. There's that old couple I promised to drive down to Ashford to see their son. They'll never go if I don't drive them.
No good asking you to help me, is it? You just clear off and help everybody else in the world instead.
I don't want to help anyone. I hate helping people. I want to study them. I'm an anthropologist, not a social worker.
You're going to have to learn to pass by on the other side occasionally.
We pass by on the other side, and there's someone in that gutter.
Jane, I'm really under pressure.
Yes, you need more help.
Well, don't you want to help me?
Well, not forever. I've always said that. I'm not a secretary.
Well, she's not a secretary, she's a nurse.
You need a nurse.
Jane, you know what I love. I love dropping in at the house, you know, during the day, and here you are.
I hear your step in the hall and my heart leaps.
I mean, when I worked at home, that was the best time of all, wasn't it? When we worked together in the same room all day because there wasn't anywhere else or anyone else. It was the best time of all, wasn't it?
Things have to change, though, now.
Do they?
Anyway, it'd only be for a couple of hours a day. You'll hardly see her.
Do we have to?
That's what the children always ask.
And do we?
Yes, we do.
And then the children always ask, why do we have to?
And what we always answer is, because you do.
All right, I'm only going to pay her what I'd pay anybody, all right?
Oh, love, she'll be so thrilled.
Work for David? Oh, Jane, no.
David would be so thrilled if you would.
I couldn't. I haven't touched a typewriter since I was at school. I'd get in such a muddle. I'd be terrified.
It's only for David.
I'm terrified of David.
Sheila.
I am. I don't think you understand what it's like for me. I used to be terrified of you.
I should have thought David and I were very tame after Colin.
Yes, and then there's Colin. What would Colin say?
It wouldn't affect him. He'd be out at work all day. So would David, so would I. You could just sit here and have the house to yourself.
Jane, what's he going to say?
How much is he paying you?
Paying me? Oh, I didn't ask.
He is proposing to pay you.
Oh, yes, I think so. I suppose so.
Because your qualifications make you quite a catch for the job. You are a state-registered nurse.
So I'll say yes then, shall I?
As long as you're not doing it out of charity, my pet. As long as you're not just helping her to get out of the house because he's so beastly to her and she's going mad, cooped up on her own all day.
Anyway, I'll try it for a week or two, shall I?
I should expect you to come home each day with a wonderful fund of David and Jane stories.
All right. If you think I should.
I don't believe it. They can't do this to me. I think in this one small area of South London, they have now finally managed to stamp out the practice of architecture. Come in. You don't have to say ooh now. This is where you work.
Sorry. I thought you were talking to someone.
I was talking to myself. They have now scheduled part of the site as a public open space. I give up. I really do. Anyway, you're in charge. House is yours. Jane's out. I'm just going. I'm going to have to go to 18 stories, that's all. I'm sorry. Listen, letters on the machine. You know how to use one of these things, don't you? Articles, catalogues. I've marked them for filing. Food, coffee, you know where it is. Help yourself. Oh, and pay the milkman, would you?
No. Machine. Typing paper. Where do they keep the typing paper? What's the typing paper? I don't know where they keep the typing paper. No typing paper. There's no typewriter.